What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all come on in here. We need to have a conversation about Marlon Wayans versus Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. And this all stems from Marlon making comments about 50 doing the Diddy documentary, right? But I'm gonna let y'all come on in here first before we start having dialogue about the whole situation. It's a lot to discuss, a lot of things to cover, just a lot of other conversations to be had. One about Diddy, one about Marlon Wayans, and also about Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. But first of all, I want to say good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is feeling well. Hope everybody enjoyed their evening overall. But let's have a conversation real quick, y'all. Andre, what's going on, man? My dog named Jody Shakur. Jody Shakur. What's up, y'all? Y'all say what's up to me as y'all come on in the chat. As y'all come on in on the live stream, y'all say what's up to me. Say what's up, bro. I never get notifications. Yeah, that's crazy. You didn't get one today. You just happened to just be on and see that I was going live. Miss A, what's going on? Tyrone Bigums. What's happening, dog? What's going down with y'all, man? Black Mall, what's happening with you, man? What's going on? What's going on, my boy? They're the outcome of integration. What you mean? So look, y'all see it all on Instagram and the Shade Room and Facebook and YouTube. Marlon Wayans and 50 Cent, they having a back and forth right now. 50 Cent and Marlon Wayans are having a back and forth, which stems from the Diddy documentary that 50 he was the executive producer of, right? The documentary that went to Netflix on December 2nd. And now there's a back and forth between these two individuals. Romero's, what's going on, big dog? Yeah, it's about to be a troll battle for the ages. Because as you all know, Marlon Wayans is a comedian. He does this in his sleep. This is an everyday hobby for him. So I don't think he will ever let up. I don't think he ever gonna stop at all. Because, this is his arena. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is used to trolling everybody and having his way, you know what I mean, especially against rappers and all of that. But I don't know how well this is going to work against a guy who actually is a comedian, against a guy who wrote stuff like Scary Movie, who does comedy for real. But let's talk about the origins of the situation. So Marlon Wayans was in an interview and they were asking him about the Diddy documentary. And Marlon saying something about, he don't really like people kicking people while they down. Now, granted, Diddy brought a lot of the stuff that's going on with him. He brought that on himself with a lot of the actions that he already had done, right? He done a lot of stuff. So it's like, people gonna talk about it and all of that. But his point was basically like 50 Cent is gonna have a time where he might have his moment where people gonna be calling him out for certain things. And when the tide turns on him, he's basically saying he gonna be looking dumbfounded, because now you throwing stones, but you live in a glass house. Essentially calling Curtis 50 Cent Jackson a hypocrite in so many ways. And that the hypocrite allegations came out. He started saying that later on in the day. He just said that a couple of hours ago, basically saying because 50 is basically telling Marlon Wayans don't play with him. He ain't the one to be played with and all of that, and making jokes about Marlon and insinuating that Marlon be on funny time. When I say funny time, y'all know what I'm talking about. Basically trying to acting like Marlon could be gay and something like that, right? And Marlon like, look, say what you want. I've always been he said, I'm not a fan of Marlon or 50 like that. I got you, right? So then I guess you could be neutral. You the person to be neutral. But basically, Marlon was like, look, I've never had any allegations against me about domestic violence, unlike some people. I've treated women with respect, unlike some people. I don't have all these abuse allegations on my name, unlike some people. And the person he's talking about is Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. And that's why he's calling 50 a hypocrite. It's like 50, he's saying 50, because 50, y'all might not know this, but women have accused 50 of domestic violence. The women he's been with have accused him of that, right? His Marquise's mother, his oldest son's mother, Shaniqua, she's accused 50 of burning down a house that she lived in, right? So, it's like he's basically saying, well, if you're going to highlight Diddy's actions, at some point you got to address your own, right? So it's just, I don't know. He said 50 Cent was accused of setting, he was accused of setting his son's mother's house on fire. And so that's what he looking at Fifth, like, how can you sit up here and say this about Diddy, but you have things attached to your name? Now, you might not have freak off allegations attached to your name. You may not have, trafficking allegations attached to your name, but you've been accused of domestic violence. Women have said you are physically violent. Uh, women have said you are verbally abusive to them, so on and so forth. So you're looking at it like, how can you be a hypocrite doing this documentary when people could easily gather and release a documentary about you? Now, I don't know if that would ever happen because 50 is tied in with some amazing lawyers, and he's all tied in within, Hollywood, the Hollywood industry, so on and so forth. So I think he got some pull in that area, but they going back and forth. Calling a grown man boy just because he have his own opinions is not one of those. And not one of these Tony Yayo minions is nasty work. These 50 say, oh yeah, 50 gonna have stands forever. I'm telling y'all, Get Rich or Die Trying has done so much for Fifth. Fifth can do no wrong because of Get Rich or Die Trying and 50 Cent Mania. Because of that early run from Get Rich or Die Trying to the Massacre, because of Beg for Mercy, the G Unit albums, the songs that came out around that time, and how just dominant 50 was in the hip hop industry, people always will attach themselves to that, and they cannot release. They will never be able to see anything other than 50 Cent being a giant and being an idol to them. Sounds like to me that Marlon is mad 50 is exposing his boy. And I don't know how tight he is with Diddy. He could be. And he might feel a way about that, right? But I do believe he has a point, though. Because, like I said, 50 got domestic violence allegations all on him. And a lot of people don't even know that. He got domestic violence allegations all on him. So it's like, yeah, he's saying, Fifth, you might not have been in freak offs, and you might not have had trafficking allegations with women and all of that, and you flying girls in and out to freak off on them and all of that type of stuff. But, you got all type of other hypocrite allegations on you. You know what I mean? You got somebody, your baby mama say you burned down a crib. So yeah, Mac, I don't think nobody's defending Diddy. We just have different views on the situation. Yeah, like again, even when I said what I said, Zero, what's going on with you? What's happening, boss? Even when I said what I said about Fifth, I was never defending Diddy's actions. I'm saying I think Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is only willing to go this far because he's upset about Daphne Joy, the apple of his eye. And Diddy had Daphne Joy, aka the apple of 50 Cent's eye, over there with him. And I think he couldn't take that. I think that really drove Fifth over the edge because I don't think Fifth would do something like this prior to him finding out about Daphne Joy, right? Being with Diddy. Like Diddy, 50 used to troll Diddy a lot, but I don't think he would go to this level. I don't think he would go to this level until that whole thing with Daphne Joy became public because it was embarrassing for Fifth. And he gets embarrassed too. We all can get embarrassed. 50's not above being embarrassed, no matter how much of a mogul and how much of an icon he is or how much money he has. I do believe that embarrassed him a lot because unlike a lot of other rappers like Future and all of that, 50 don't go plant his seed in any woman. He only has 2 children by 2 different women, right? And he planned to have his youngest son. He admitted that. He planned to have his youngest son with Daphne Joy because he really thought highly of Daphne Joy. He really thought she was like, she was his, at one point, he admired her for everything. You know what I mean? He really put her on a pedestal. And to see the woman that you chose to procreate with running around with your arch nemesis, running around with a dude you clown on a regular basis, not just running around with him, but allegedly being in freak offs and all type of stuff with him, that's embarrassing. And I think that really got Fifth wanting to do that documentary. Again, he said 50 still. I mean, he's offended by them wanting to take him shopping. But I don't care, man. When you out here, dudes, that hurt. That hurt. He said Marlon was definitely at them parties. This is the same guy who makes sure he has a scene with something going on in his. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, Marlon can be corny sometimes with some of the stuff that he does for sure. Comes from a historic family without question. You know what I mean? And that's we can't dispute that at all. And he could be corny with things 100%. And Diddy might very well be his boy. That might be his homie. And he feel aware about it. And it might be him like, let me, he kicking my boy while he down or whatever. But I think 2 things could be true. He could be defending his boy, and it also can be true that somebody could very well make a documentary about 50. And that's the reality of it. James, man, what's going on with you? Yeah, offering to take another man shopping is crazy. That's what it is, 100%. You know what I mean? Without question. But I don't think that drove 50 to be over the edge to really he offered 50 that way back in the day. I think 50 went to this level, man. Men, I'm telling y'all, I know men. Fifth heart was broke when he seen Daphne Joy riding. When he found out Daphne was riding around, when he seen Daphne was riding around, and that's a great point. Hold on. When he seen Daphne was riding around with Diddy, it hurt his heart. I told y'all, when a woman you love, 50 loved Daphne Joy. That wasn't no jump off. That wasn't, this is the old school word, jump off. That wasn't no freak he was just messing with. He loved that girl. He put a seed in that woman. And to find out she riding around with Diddy, a dude you hate, a dude you make fun of on a regular basis, that is hurtful. I know that motherfucker. I know Fifth probably had trouble eating for a few days. Motherfucker probably couldn't eat. Probably was, hurt, rolling around in the bed and everything. And he said, I'm gonna do something about this shit here. He said, I don't like this shit. I don't like that shit at all. Bridget, that's for real. Said Marlon is simply stating that it's not wise to glorify someone else's downfall. Diddy got his own karma to deal with, and so does 50. Yeah, 100%. And Phil got a lot of karma to deal with, 100 all the way. I bet you in a minute, has not claimed to be petty, vindictive. Nah, Black Maul ain't no petty and vindictive. He ain't going to this heights like that. That man mad about that woman. Y'all ain't gonna convince me otherwise. This ain't just him being petty. He mad about that woman, man. Fifth, man, y'all ain't Daphne. That boy Daphne, when he seen Daphne roll around with Diddy, that was a bullet to his heart, for real. That was like him getting shot again. I don't care. This ain't no he just being petty. That man mad about that his old lady. Again, Fifth kid, this ain't a dude. He not Chief Keef them that just put babies and girls on a regular. If he was a dude that was a serial baby mama maker, all right, cool. If you just have babies with any girl all around town, all right, maybe he don't care about it. 50 only got 2 kids by 2 women, and he planned. You saw them pictures I put up on that. You saw them pictures I put up on my YouTube on that video I made. You saw how 50 was admiring Daphne Joy. taking pictures of her on the beach, showing all of his teeth in his mouth, grinning like he was smiling like the Cheshire Cat, the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, grinning like I'm talking about. Smile was up here when he was with Daphne Joy. To see a dude to see Daphne with a dude, you clown. Fifth probably was in bed with Daphne, clowning Diddy. Like, look at this motherfucker, man. Look at this motherfucker. This motherfucker Diddy, he gay, he corny, he gay. Look at this gay dude here. And then you see your girl, she with the dude you was calling gay and calling the cornball, and she booed up with him. What? Ah, boy, what I know, Fifth was at that damn. He was at the toilet throwing up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 50 petty, but I'm telling you, making a documentary is far, bro. That's far. That is far. Making a documentary when Fifth has always been against snitch culture. This the same dude that come from the streets and say, I'm against snitch culture and all of that. So all these dudes talk about they not telling on nobody, and you out here rounding up all this type of evidence. All these street rappers talk about they against snitching, and they like they too big for all of this. 50 always has been against snitch culture all the way. And for you to give in and do that documentary like that, to go against all the street, like, because I don't care what nobody say. It ain't snitching is not just telling on what dudes do in the street. Right? You rounding up motherfuckers to give all this information. That look crazy when you have been staunchly against snitching all across the board. And now it's cool now. It's cool now. Fifth got to understand what could be coming for him. Fifth got domestic violence allegations all on him too. You know what I'm saying? Did people forget in 2023? I appreciate the donation, James. Did people forget in 2013, 50 Cent accepted a plea deal in a domestic violence case that allowed him to avoid jail time? Look it up. Right. Now that's a great point, right? If we gonna talk about somebody, if he against bad guys, he not gonna do nothing on Dre. Cause Dre got a long history. How he did D Barnes. Y'all remember how he did D, right? D Barnes. You remember that. Yeah, like, and just being petty, like doing a documentary, being petty, that's not an admirable trait to me. That's not an admirable trait. And that's what Marlon's saying. Marlon's saying, hold on now. You coming at me, calling me gay, all type of, you trying to allude to me being gay. Ain't no woman ever said I did nothing against them. Unlike some people, he's basically telling y'all, 50 women have been around Fifth and said that he been verbally and physically violent with them. So easily you can have a documentary put out on you. Let's be for real, man. Like, what is we like? And again, if you so against bad guys, Dre got a history of domestic violence. He didn't smacked up and beat up on Michelle allegedly, right? We heard about the incident with D Barnes. Like what? Yeah. So come on now. We know he ain't gonna do that to Dre because Dre changed his life. But let's be for real. Like I told y'all, Fifth don't care nothing about none of these victims, none of that. It's about that woman, man. Women have started wars, wars have been started behind women, right? I would say that. The love of a woman have started wars in society. And Fifth been mad. I think he boiled over his limit when he seen Daphne Joy over there. That made him flip a switch. Because that's the mother of the son he loves. Because he loves Sire Jackson. He don't love Marquise no more. He don't love Marquise no more. But he loved little man, little Sire Jackson, right? And Sire Jackson's mama is Daphne. And we know Diddy love a woman with Asian up in her. Yeah, and Daphne was 50's prized possession. Again, look at how he was smiling. We saw that brother's teeth like the Cheshire Cat. You know? So yeah, man. So look, no, he only spoke on Diddy because they asked him, bro. And then later on, he said, well, I don't have no. Then when him and 50 went into a watch Marlon finna say something. Marlon finna say, all my kids love me next. Watch he finna say that. Watch Marlon finna say, don't none of my kids hate me. It's coming. Because he just said, unlike some people, I don't have domestic violence allegations on my name. I don't have a history of abusing women. Unlike some people, he talking about 50. Why he right next he finna say he could have said next question. I mean, yeah, but he could have answered the question, right? Just like 50 could have not did a documentary on Diddy. And just could have just been like, I don't like dude. He could have just said, I don't like dude, and left it at that. But again, I ain't giving Fifth no out. Because again, and Maul, you know this. In hip-hop culture, snitching has always been against the code. They always say we don't tolerate no snitching. So now it's cool to go round up everybody for information on Diddy. It's cool to go ground up everybody now. Right? Again, I'm a civilian. So I don't play by them rules. I'm telling, I ain't getting in trouble for nobody. I'm telling, I ain't getting in trouble for nobody. I got kids. But Fifth come from the culture where being a snitch, he disassociated himself from Tekashi 6ix9ine for being a snitch, right? And telling. Now, again, Diddy has been already convicted of stuff, but 50 getting information that Diddy ain't even convicted on. He going to get information on Diddy that Diddy ain't even getting in trouble for. He trying to go dig up all type of information on Diddy. That's a person who is scorned. That is a scorned individual, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a scorned individual. And I think Marlon looking at it from the standpoint of like how I look at it. Like you could easily have somebody come out and say some stuff against you. But I guarantee you, Marlon about to say, at least all my kids love me next. I bet you about to say that. He about to say it's about to get personal, very personal, very quickly. Very quickly. And I don't think Marlon minds it getting very personal at all. But yeah, y'all not gonna convince me that Fifth is just this unbothered, he just petty. Like, nah. That motherfucker, that's some scorn stuff right here. This is when you're scorned. Marlon clout chasing. I don't think he's looking for clout. They asked him a question. He didn't speak on it willingly and they asked him a question. Now y'all can say, people can say next question, but he got a right to answer how he want to answer, right? He didn't willingly just say, I want to talk about the 50 Cent documentary and got on his own platform. He got asked about it, you know? Yeah, man, that man Fifth is scorned. I don't care what nobody say. He is mad that the apple of his eye is in his eye. She's a Jezebel, and that hurt him, man. And that's okay. It's okay to admit you hurt by a woman, bro. It happens. It happens. But I really think the only reason he doing this documentary is because he heard about Daphne. It's okay to be hurt by a woman, man. It's all right. It happens. But that's the driving fuel behind him doing this documentary. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody say. Marlon basically saying, listen, don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. Because if the white folks want to, they can easily come together and put a documentary together on Curtis 50 Cent Jackson for violent things he's done and violence he's had against women. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, and I feel it. My boy said, if Diddy didn't hit his BM, would he have made the doc? I think the F not. I promise you, I don't think he would have made a documentary. I think he would have clowned Diddy, yes, but I don't think he would have gone out of his way. I don't think he would have gone out of his way to do a whole documentary. That's far. He didn't even do that with Rick Ross. He had took Tia Kemp shopping, and Ross initiated that beef. Ross initiated that beef, 100%. Right? He ain't do a documentary on Ross. He ain't do a whole docu. He took Tia Kemp shopping, but you know what I'm saying, recorded it for thisis50.com, but he didn't do a documentary on Ross being a CO and all of that. Doing a documentary is far. What Tia told me. It was funny though. Did he mess with his, you said, did he mess with his BM because it was 50 BM? Of course. Of course he did that. But y'all would call that a power move. If 50 messed with Diddy BM, y'all would say, that's a power move, man. 50 a boss. 50 know how to handle himself out here in the streets. He know how to get at folks and cut them deep. But when Diddy messed with 50 BM, now it's he only did it because that's 50 baby mama. Yeah, of course. Of course. Oh yeah, now he didn't upload that one Tia Kim sex tape. It was another girl, I think. Another girl that Diddy messed with. I mean, not Diddy, that Rick Ross was with. That wasn't Tia's sex tape or whatever. Right? But he ain't making, why he ain't do no documentary? Why he ain't do no documentary on Ross being a CO? That's far, boy. This is far. I don't care what nobody say. This is far. Doing a whole documentary, rounding up people. I don't care this way. That's rounding up people. Yeah. So what you got to say about Diddy? What you got to say? What you got to say? What? That is way too. That is when you go into new heights. You would think 50 is a crusader for women at this point. Like he is an absolute crusader for domestic violence victims and all type of, you know what I mean? The way that's like a corporate move. It is. You would think he's a titan and like yeah, going and like you would think he's what, Nancy Grace or Katie Couric. Shit, what's another woman name? Yeah, 50, you would think 50 rounding up people for interviews. You would think he Katie Couric, Nancy Grace. What's the other one name, man? What's the other older woman name, man? Rounding up the most scandalous, ugly, no life having people. Barbara Wall. There we go. You know exactly who I was talking about, Charlie. Barbara Walters. You think 50 Barbara Walters? God damn. This brother gathering around victims like he Oprah Winfrey, Barbara Walters. Oh, I gotta make a regular video about this one. I don't care, man. For real, because honestly, man. So yeah, Diddy has done some terrible trash things, right? Stuff that I will never defend at all. I won't. But it's like, Fifth, you got some stuff on your name too. Domestic violence allegations. We ain't seen it on video, but both women that you have children with say you are physically and verbally abusive and mentally abusive, all of that. Your first child's mother said you burned up or you burned down a house that she was living in, right? So yeah, then I don't care what nobody say. Disowning your child, that let me know you capable of doing some crazy stuff. But both of the women that you choose to have a child with, both of the women that you suppose like those are women that's supposed to view you in a certain regard. You got children with both of them women. At some point, you was in love with both of them. And both of the women you used to be in love with say, hey man, he is physically and verbally abusive. Come on now. You know? And then when you disown your child the way 50 does, that is something you got character flaws about you. 50 has said dark things about Marquise. 50 has said dark things about his own son, right? He has a dark coldness towards Marquise. That lets me know, like, hey, you might be capable of being on some BS 100%. He has said things about Marquise that I wouldn't say about my enemies. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. But yeah, he has said, sometimes I would be wishing, for real. Y'all, sometimes I do be like, I want to say some vile stuff to some enemies of mine. But you know what I mean, right? He let his 50 let his own homies laugh at his son. He's told jokes. He's cracked jokes about Marquise to the world. He's clowned Marquise, his own son, for the world to laugh at his son. And he ain't got his minions, Yayo and Uncle Murder, laughing at his own boy. I don't give a fuck what issues I got with my child. I'm never giving a green light for my mans them to laugh at my son. You know what I mean? I'm never giving ammunition. I'm never giving ammunition for anybody to laugh at my child, no matter what issues I got with them, let alone dudes that I pay for their lifestyle. I'm financing them. Are you crazy? So yeah, man, and people are so stuck into 50 Cent mania that they don't recognize a 50 got flawed things about him too. I love Get Rich or Die Trying album. I love the Massacre album, even though it's not popular. It's not people basically discredit it a lot. I love that album. I love the TV shows he makes. I really love those shows. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I still think that music is dope and fire, but we got to be for real. Fifth has done, like, Fifth be doing shiesty stuff, and he can get called out for stuff he has done or allegations on him. The same way he trying to put out them allegations against I put out them allegations, but the same way he made a documentary with allegations against Diddy. A documentary can come out about him as well. Yeah, but like I said, when you doing a documentary is just far, man. You would think he Barbara Walters. Said Diddy deflectors. Oh my God. I ain't defending nothing Diddy did. But I just know Fifth only doing all this because of that girl. And he can very well have a documentary put out about him for stuff he's done. You know? Man, I think on what is it, patiently waiting when 50 say you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. He said they say you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And Fifth, you might not get freak off allegations on you, but you got some violent allegations on your name. For real. Marlon was, bro, everybody was at the Diddy parties, bro. Everybody was there. Fifth probably was at them parties in the early parts of his career. So, brother, and guess what? He deserves no empathy. And 50 got monster allegations on him too, Black Mall. 50 got that's the thing. If 50 didn't have monster allegations on him, then I get you, Black Mall. So y'all saying who gives a F why he doing it? I get that, right? Who cares why he doing it? Diddy is a monster. 50 got monster allegations on him. If he was a squeaky clean dude, Black Mall, then I get you. Then your point stands. It stands. But 50 got monster allegations on him. So yeah, that's the point. So I get y'all saying who cares what's the reasoning for it? Who cares what's the reasoning for it? Because 50's Diddy's a monster. But Fifth got monster allegations. Anytime your BM say you burning down a crib, and they say, hey, you physically and verbally abusive with them, all of that, right? When you say you don't give a fuck if your son get hit by a train, you don't care, right? I don't give a fuck if he took a picture with Supreme Son, right? Because he only did that. Supreme Son seen him outside and was like, hey, let's get a picture real quick. And that was after years of 50 being talking to Marquise anyway and talking about Marquise like he ain't nothing. Like he ain't shit to him. Exactly. Why do Fifth Son and Supreme Son got to be enemies anyway? Supreme don't even be getting along with his son. But look, I don't think nobody defending Diddy for nothing he's done. He did a lot of heinous stuff, without question, without question. But that's like if me, right? If I'm like, what? Can you imagine Chris Brown doing a documentary on abusing women? Can you imagine Chris Brown? Can you imagine Chris? Hold on. Can you imagine Chris Brown? And hold on. And Marquise took a picture well out. That was years down the line. 50 was calling his own son all type of names, all type of foul stuff in public. All type of crazy stuff. He was talking about Marquise like Marquise wasn't shit to him. When Marquise was 14, 15. Right? He talking about his son like his son was dirt on the ground. So yeah, like what? 50 got monster allegations on him. That's the thing. Can you imagine Chris Brown doing a documentary on goddamn Ike Turner? This like Chris Brown doing a documentary on Ike Turner. Black Mall. Their relationship was done well before that. That's the problem, bro. Their relationship was done well before that. And that's probably why Marquise didn't even think about, all right, cool. You want to take a picture with me? Cool. Cool. Supreme Son approached him. They were both in the same club or same event somewhere. And Supreme Son approached him for a picture. Right? And Supreme Son tried to present it as, even though our father had differences, we don't have to have differences. That's what he tried to present it as. 50 already, he was done with Marquise well before that. He hadn't spoken to Marquise in years and was trashing Marquise. So that's the problem, all. 50 disowned Marquise well before that. So that don't work. 50 ain't disowned Marquise after that. So that line you using, that shit don't work, bro. He already disowned Marquise before that. He already disowned Marquise before that. So yeah. Like I said, can you imagine? Yeah, 50 Marquise was a kid when 50 Marquise was 14, 15 years old when Fifth disowned him. He was a kid when Fifth washed his hands with his son. My daughter 14 right now. What? That's crazy. And then he let Yayo and them make fun of Marquise. He let Yayo and Uncle Murder and them make fun of Marquise. There's no way I'm letting none of my homies make fun of my seed. I don't give a fuck what's going down. There's no way, bro. There's no way I'm doing that. There's no way I'm giving a green light for that to be a thing. So yeah, it is this all again, this works. The angle of who cares what 50's reasoning is, Diddy is a monster. That works if Fifth don't get monster allegations on his name. If he squeaky clean and he, all right, that's cool. I get that. But no. Just imagine Chris Brown doing interviews with everybody. So Ike beat you. So he beat you. No, he beat you like that. We'll be looking at Chris like, Chris, boy, what the fuck? L Smooth. Y'all keep missing the point. Marquise was an adult. Like Marquise was like in his early 20s when he took that picture with Supreme Sign. Fifth disowned Marquise when Marquise was 14, 15, bro. So that's not the reason why he don't fuck with Marquise. He been not fucking with Marquise a long time before that. He got in interviews, Van Lathan asked him, Fifth, do you love your son? Fifth say, I used to. I used to. Van Lathan got in an interview and asked Fifth, do he still love Marquise? He told Van, I used to. Hey, you don't got good comprehension skills, brother. Because you said you defending Diddy as well. You trolling. Your comprehension skills not that good, brother. Bro, no. Financially paying child support is not loving your son, Black Mall. You know that, bro. You of all people know, just because you throw money at a kid don't mean you love your son and have a bond with your baby. It's dudes that throw money at a child they don't see, don't talk to because they outside kids. That love can never be replaced, especially from a father, bro. Young men really admire their fathers. They really, they need that love from their father. It's not just throwing money at them, right? That's not false. He don't like Marquise at all. He had to pay that money to Marquise. You feel me? He was on child support. So just because I do what the court tell me to do, that don't mean I love my child. That don't mean I love my child. I'm doing what the court told me to do. And you know that. Y'all can't be in here. Y'all not going, there's no way y'all going to be able to go. You're not going to be able to save 50 on this. This is coming from a dude when Diddy, all the stuff first came out against Diddy. I made videos speaking out staunchly against Diddy. They still on my channel. Bro, Drew, he bought his baby mama oldest daughter a car when he was still messing with Shaniqua, bro. When he was still messing with Shaniqua. After he disowned Marquise, he wasn't buying her no car. Y'all trying to make what? What is we talking about, bro? Fifth was doing that when he was still messing with Shaniqua. He wasn't doing that when he disowned Marquise. He don't get no what? That's crazy. He don't get no points for that. That's cool. He didn't do that for Shaniqua's daughter when he was like when him and Marquise fell out. He was doing that while he was messing with Shaniqua. Like, what's we talking about up in here, bro? So because he doing that, bro, and you saying we don't know what these people are doing? You right. We don't know what 50 B got going on in his personal life. But we do know he got allegations on him too. That's what we know. And bro, you said I fake care like you. I'm faking acting like I care about 50 Cent. You faking acting like you really care about 50 Cent and care about the justice being brought against Diddy. You don't care. You just a 50 fan and you being a contrarian. That's it. But what? I'm gonna make a regular video about this one because this getting crazy up in here. This getting crazy. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I swear to God, if 50, let's say it again, CJ. If 50 did a Michael Jackson documentary like Oprah, all the 50 fans be like, oh, this is enough. Now 50 crossing the line. You're crossing the line. You're doing a doc on Michael Jackson. Don't do that. Then 50 gonna be called a snitch at that point. I don't gotta make a Foxy Brown, what's going on? I gotta make a regular video about this because they're getting crazy. Y'all in here trying to make excuses for 50 Cent disowning Marquise well before that picture with Supreme signed. He disowned Marquise at 14, 15 years old. Washed his hands with his son. So what? We said, so what 50 got on him tell us? He could easily do a documentary about them allegations against Michael Jackson, about Michael Jackson being a child predator. He could easily do that. He could easily do that. Just like other people have done Michael Jackson documentaries. Y'all just love Fifth. And I get it. 50 was a was a nostalgic part of my childhood. But come on, man. I'm saying what 50 allegations? I just told you, bro. Both of his children's mothers have accused him of being physically abusive and verbally abusive. One of his children's mothers say he burned down her house to spite her, right? My man James just talked about Fifth. Let me put it back on screen. He accepted a plea deal in a domestic violence case that allowed him to avoid jail time. What a video. Hey, hey, talking about since you going by a person word. Hey, you just love Fifth, bro. Yeah. We going by, we got video. Okay. We got video of the Cassie situation, right? We do. But a lot of the other stuff is just people's word. Like when Gene Deal say he saw this and saw that with Diddy, that's people's word. And we accepting that as truth. We only saw the Cassie video, right? But that was enough for me to know I believe the other stuff too. But if women, both of the women that at one point was the apple of your eye saying, hey man, this dude been physically abusive to us, verbally abusive. Come on. One girl say, yo, you burned our house down. I can see how a man treat his son and can determine, hey, how you treat his kids. He got some stuff up in him, you know? That's all I'm saying. All that money Cassie won, uh, about to get spent on lawsuits and lawyers' fees. Say all children are not good. Hey, Clive, stop talking crazy. Falling out with your own kids is super suspect. Yeah, like, come on. When your child is like a teenager, you sound pressed about Diddy. You sound upset because you don't want Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. You feel like no harm shall come to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. That's all that is, L Smooth. I'm the guy who's made videos speaking out against Diddy on a regular basis. When it first happened, I did. I remember when the Cassie video came out, I made a video immediately going in on Diddy, right? So it's not about him. It's about you throwing stones when you live in a glass house. When people could very well say similar allegations about you. Hold on, what Foxy Brown say? Said 50 no better than Brian McKnight. Yeah, cause again, y'all bring up that picture with Supreme Son, but Fifth disowned Marquise well before that picture. Even if your kids try to throw hands with you, yeah, you're gonna be mad at your kids. You're gonna be pissed off, but you ain't gonna wash your hands with your kid though. You're gonna be heated, cause how dare he disrespect you like that? Yeah, you're gonna be pissed. You're gonna be furious, furious. But you're never gonna give the green light for nobody to make fun of your child. You're never gonna say you never gonna hate your child like that. You're not. But listen, Marquise was never talking about Fifth when Fifth was disowning him. Marquise was a kid, right? Marquise was a kid. And nothing is more hurtful than your father giving a green light to his friends to laugh at you. So just like nothing is more hurtful than somebody talking ish about you when they depend on you for survival, that's true. But also it's hurtful to know your daddy is letting his friends clown and embarrass you. He's letting the world. You know how many people we have grown people that don't even know Marquise Jackson. 50 Cent stands call Marquise all type of ungrateful motherfuckers and ain't shit. They say his son ain't shit. He's an ungrateful little fucker. That's what they say about Marquise. Because they love 50 Cent so much. He got the whole world. He got the world going against his boy that look just like him. He got the whole world going against his boy. Grown men that love Fifth out here calling Marquise all type of punk ass motherfucker, every type of insult you can name. Every time a picture of Marquise come up on the internet, watch 50 Cent stands be under Marquise picture. I'm telling you, many men got brothers never wanted to part from 50. That song is phenomenal. Yeah, you got to go. You got to go. I'm about to snap on your goof ass. Goofy. But yeah, look how whenever a picture of Marquise surfaces on the internet, look how 50 Cent fans talk about Marquise. Do you think I would ever give the green light for my child to be talked about like that? Ever. Ever. I don't care if we into it. Them men love 50 Cent so much that they in there, they talking about, they don't know Marquise at all. So I'm saying, don't you think that's hurtful? Damn, my own father has basically created an avenue for me to get slandered to hell on social media by his fans and his own friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was just getting too disrespectful. And that's why I do have to go. Yeah, and he gonna get punished, bro. He's getting his punishment. So yeah, true. He needs to get punished 100%. But again, 50 Cent got stuff to answer for himself. He got stuff to answer for himself. But my father is allowing me to get publicly chastised, by people he don't even know. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy to me. And guess what, Black Mall? Most of the time, street dudes have a fucked up mentality, bro. I'm just being honest with you. I seen dudes in Chicago be street. 50 also needs counseling, 100%. He has not healed from his mama dying at a young age and him not having his father around, right? And a lot of street dudes that I know, they spirits are effed up a lot. and they are sociopaths. They don't have any emotional intelligence at all. Speaking about especially the dudes here I didn't see, they have the worst emotional intelligence I've ever seen in my life. Most street dudes do not have emotional intelligence at all. And in this world, we need emotional intelligence to be able to navigate. If you don't, you could very well find yourself in horrific situations. And not just violent situations, but all of that. You know what I'm saying? And very well, Marlon could be defending Diddy. He might be defending Diddy. He might be cool with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? But two things could be true. 50 also, he got allegations on him. So just like y'all say, who cares what Marlon's motives is if what he's saying is true? Because y'all say, who cares what 50's motives are behind doing a documentary? What he's saying about Diddy is true. So again, who cares what Marlon's motives are if what he's saying is true about Curtis 50 Cent Jackson? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, because he could very well reap what he sows. And all them white boys and the white dudes in the entertainment industry could very well gather up, they could sit down with his baby mamas and sit down with other women 50 has dated and say, man, what did Curtis 50 Cent Jackson do to you? What was he like on an everyday basis? Was he physically violent? How so? Do you have pictures? Was he verbally violent? Do you have text messages? They could very well do the same thing to him. You know? You said Marlon don't care about 50 and all these advocates. Bro, just like y'all, just like when I said 50 don't care about the victims, Black Maul, you told me who cares what 50's motives are? Who cares if he don't care about the victims as long as he's exposing the monster? And again, I can very well say, who cares if Marlon cares about 50 and these allegations or not? What he's saying is very true. What he's saying, 50 could very well be reaping what he sows. You get me? So that works both ways, brother. That's a double-edged sword. Y'all say, who cares about the intent? I mean, who cares about the motives? As long as the monster is exposed. And if we go and Marlon's making this point, Marlon's saying, hey, you got allegations on you. He's shedding light on the fact that Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has multiple domestic violence allegations against him. Shedding light on the fact that Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has definitely been accused of burning down his baby mama house. He's telling us 50's been accused of domestic violence on several instances, right? We know that though. Okay, listen, no, everybody don't know that. Because everybody, I bet you everybody in the chat don't know Shaniqua Tompkins, his baby mama accused him of burning down her house. Everybody don't know that, right? Hell, before 50 did this documentary, I knew all the stories that 50 got in his documentary. I ain't even watched the documentary, but I didn't watch interviews to know that. So yeah, we could say, 50, we know this, huh? We knew this. Why you gathering everybody to rehash all of this? We can very well say that. You feel what I'm saying? Because all the stuff that I'm hearing being said, people have said in different interviews across different platforms. But 50 want to gather around people and rehash it and bring it up. And that's the point. Charlie X saying, he telling Fifth, be careful about working with them people to bring down Diddy when they can do the same thing to you because of them allegations you got on your name. Brother, and I'm not choosing to ignore nothing like that, right? I'm not. For real. I made content about it. You watch the videos. I'm not ignoring that. But what I'm saying is 50 definitely got allegations. For real. He does. Hey, he did. And I say that, bro, because in popping them things, he said, after the what he said after the VMAs, my baby mama cussed my ass out. I kicked the ass. We back friends like Puffy and Steve Stout. He did say that. Now that was our lyrics, so some people are gonna say you can't take that seriously. People talk about doing all type of stuff to women in lyrics all the time, but he did say after the VMAs, my baby mama cussed my ass out. I kicked the ass. I kicked her ass. We back friends like Puffy and Steve Stout. He did say that in popping them things. Now, some people are gonna say that's just lyrical content. Eminem has talked about doing all type of things to Kim in his songs. So yeah, but I do remember that dang on line from popping them things. Hey, listen. Now, look, you can say it's non-proven. It's not, and yeah, it's allegations, accusations. But some might say, when the women keep saying this about you, several women have said this about you. Some people are gonna say, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So yeah, Diddy, we seen him beating on Cassie, 100%. We saw that. You saw him kicking on Cassie like she was nothing on the ground. But what Marlon's saying is, hey, we could very well see footage from you come out. You know? I just fifth. Man, 50 acting like Barbara Walters is just crazy to me. Especially when I know all these street dudes that sold drugs be always against telling on dudes. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, now look, he doing that now. That's going far. I don't feel like he would go this far and be Barbara Walters unless he was really that mad. Now again, I get what y'all saying. You know, some people would say, um, some people would say, hey, he getting a monster off the streets, right? Because I felt that way about R. Kelly. I felt that way about R. Kelly, 100%. But Aaron Hall better not be doing no documentary about R. Kelly. Aaron Hall. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Hall better not be doing no documentary about R. Kelly. Because then I'm gonna look at Aaron like, you was out here messing with Gloria Velez when she was 16 years old. Come on now. Come on. Yeah, Fifth always been taunting Diddy and talking trash about Diddy before the Daphne Joy situation. But his animus for Diddy increased after he found out Daphne Joy, the mother of his youngest son, was messing around with Diddy. Yes. Because 50 loved Daphne Joy with his whole heart. And there's nothing wrong with loving a woman. There's nothing wrong with loving a woman. I've been in love before. So I understand that. He got upset because he never thought Daphne would be running around with Diddy. You know? Yeah, he been calling Diddy gay for a while, right? So that's why I feel like he really got even more hurt. I think he got hurt even more. He got hurt even more. Like, let me say this too. Fifth does a lot of silly shit to me. Y'all know who Chris Lighty is? Rest in peace, Chris Lighty. When Chris Lighty died, 50 was telling a story, and he revealed that Chris Lighty's wife used to be sleeping with Diddy back in the day. Like, for no reason. And 50 say he loved Chris Lighty. If you love Chris, why would you reveal that, Diddy was at the wedding and Diddy used to be sleeping with Chris' wife? He used to be messing with Chris' wife back in the day. Violated Chris Lighty, yes. 50 told a story where he revealed, he said he loved Chris. He loved Chris Lighty. If you love Chris, why would you reveal that Chris' wife used to be sleeping with Diddy back in the day and Diddy was at the wedding? And Chris didn't care because it was in her past. It sounds like you're trying to humiliate Chris. He's a sociopath. He has a very twisted way of loving and respecting somebody. Let's be for real. Fifth do a lot of crazy stuff. Right? This is the same dude who said that he always called Banks lazy, and they always trash Banks, the best lyricist in the unit, hands down. Right? In the G Unit core, Banks was the best lyricist, hands down. Fifth, when Banks fell into depression when his father died, Fifth didn't give a fuck. And some of y'all gonna say, because he lost his mama. I don't care. I don't care. If anything, you should know how that affected you, because it affected Fifth in a crazy way. He got G Unit fans making fun of Banks, calling Banks lazy, all that type of stuff. Hey man, Banks the best lyricist. Let me tell you something. When Banks say I ain't even got a license yet and got 7 cars yet, my TV the same size as Kevin Garnett, a brand new Buzz Mac 10 and a chopper and a white fan base because Eminem is my partner. I'm a Ferrari and glass car. Come what? Banks started talking crazy. And Fifth, Banks supposed to be like his little mans. People be clowning Banks all the time. He lazy. He don't want to do no work. How the fuck y'all know that? Because Fifth told y'all that. Because Fifth told y'all that about his homie. Letting Banks get ripped to shreds by fans. He lazy. He don't want to do that. How the fuck y'all know Banks' work ethic? What he ain't doing in the studio. Yeah, that was all Rotten Apple. Survival. What? Banks going there talking crazy. I'll be a South Side brother till I rot. Even though I got a yacht and $1 million bop. Superman arm on a 69 drop out of every 70 rapper, 69 flop. I blow $1.25 just to get the feel so my headlights move when I move the steering wheel. I ain't clubbing for nothing. It's top dollar to chill. I pop bottles for real with pop artist appeal. I move 2 mil. My backyard is a field. I ain't tough for the tube. I smack y'all for real. Hey, what he say? Go ahead and hate on me now. You miss a nigga later. I'm hood like bullet holes and pissy elevators. I went from playing the same block to Bangkok. Sick enough to get money between the raindrops. And my pee so heavy, I pop a chain of weed and get so much pussy I can't sleep. What? Banks talking that crazy. He talking that talk on all them unit albums. And I'm gonna be for real. Banks gave them albums lyric legitimacy. For real. Because Banks was the lyricist in the crew for real. We ain't gonna do that. Come on, man. What he say? I got the mind of a genius. A rag like that, backhand like Venus's, jab like Zab. We were talking crazy. What? I know you don't like that. He was, what? We ain't finna do that. And Fifth got everybody, he got people called clowning Banks. He ain't no work ethic. You stop playing. And Buck was spitting. Bucks was like, listen, on Work Magic, Buck was going off. Buck definitely was, and Footprints, Buck was going off. But Banks was really giving them lyric legitimacy for real. And because Fifth was never Fifth was a great songwriter, great hook writer, all of that. But Banks was giving them lyric legitimacy, and Buck was dope. I'm a fan of Buck's music all the way, 100%. But when Banks say when he say his homie buying so much ammo, when you reaching the couch for loose change, you probably fell on a handle. Come on, man. We not doing that. I just got me some band-aids and bought a couple blocks. Had to go on the rampage and hit a couple blocks. When they hit that 12 gauge is when the trouble stopped. Hey, he was going in. Hey, he had a song on Rotten Apple called Stranger. Banks going crazy. What? Oh, hey, we not doing that. And on what's the joint called, the Rotten Apple song? Black Mall. I don't like 50. I know more 50 songs than you, Black Mall. It don't care that he got a tattoo called Lazy Love. Okay, cool. But to make Banks seem like Banks was a goofy, like he ain't never want to work, that's that's just Lazy Lloyd. Cool. That's the little nickname he got. All right, because he got that on there. But to have your fan 50 was out here trashing Banks for no reason. We ain't doing that. Talking about I don't like 50. I had 50 video games. I had everything. How you finna, you not finna do that? I just know when 50 do sucker stuff. Just like when Shawty Low died, look what 50 said. 50 did a horrible memorial for Shawty Low. And Shawty Low was signed to G-Unit Records, right? Signed to G-Unit Records. Fifth do a lot of shady stuff. A lot of shiesty stuff, for real. Everybody around Fifth fall out with him, except Yayo. What do that tell you? Kiss don't never fall out with Styles P and Luch and Sheik. Never. Kiss got all his friendships intact. All of them. Now, for real, Kiss got all his relationships intact. Yayo the only one that stayed loyal to 50. They're always around because it don't matter what. Yayo 50 throwing Yayo in the bushes, treating him like a shorty, throwing Yayo in the bushes, all type of hoeing Yayo. I don't care how much money a man put in your pocket. Throwing you in the bushes in front of all your friends, that shit is crazy. That's crazy. What? And Yayo sit there and take it. So, yeah, what do that tell you? When all your relationships around you are dissolving, everybody fall out with you except one person. Come on, man. We not finna do that. Hey, what my man Charlie say? What he say? You should thank the Lord the radon issue because the salt off a microwave, brother. Like Adolf Hitler. F pressure. I entered the ring calm, nicer than them Japanese niggas in ping pong. Look at my ring dawn, at least 100K worth of bling gone, smoking the same Buddha as the corporate shooter. Said, but Mac, 50 gave Yayo stamps in his passport. 50 had Yayo living in Battery Park, eating boiled beavers. I was in Battery Park. 50 had me in Battery Park, drinking flavored battery acid. 50 had me eating pterodactyl arms in Toronto. 50 had me eating bear claws in Bermuda. Yayo and Eminem. All right, Eminem, right. Because 50 will never say nothing bad about Eminem. Because Eminem saved his life and changed his life. All right, cool. He could Eminem. 50 will never go against Eminem and say nothing bad about Eminem because Eminem changed his life. Everybody else is free game. He said he's white too. He said he ain't going against the white boy at all. 50 got that MAGA love up in him. Hey, what 50 say on I'm so disrespectful? He said I gave game hits. He told me to suck, start screaming West Side, and Dre ain't say shit. He got mad at Dre for not standing down with him when Banks was going at when Game was going at it with the unit and going at it with Fifth. I gave Game hits. He told me to suck it. start screaming West Side, and Dre ain't say shit. 50 had me. 50 had me eating Mastodon in Montego Bay. That's what he be saying. 50 had me eating Mastodon. 50 had me eating woolly mammoth ankles in Wales. Thank you, 50. Thank you, 50. 50 had me eating anteater arms in Battery Park. 50's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. He always talking about 50 crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. I ate the Loch Ness monsters. I ate the Loch Ness monster's tail in Luxembourg. All thanks to 50. Thank you, 50. He's crazy. I went to go see Black Panther 2 weeks before the movie came out. Thanks to 50. Who's more loyal, Yayo or Bleak? Both of them got the same amount. Got the same amount of loyalty. Man. You said Yayo more loyal? Ooh. Hey, Game had this song called I'm Running. Got to live for today, cause tomorrow ain't promised to me. Good evening, Carmen. Don't just want a piece. I want my own destiny. If you got it, I'm gonna take it. I'm running. That was Yayo was on there. If I get locked, where my gun? I'm running. Ooh. Y'all remember that joint? I ain't gonna lie, man. The unit them made some great songs, man. Some great music. Like I said, Fifth always been a great songwriter. Always been a great hook man. All of that. Always had a great flow and great delivery. Yeah, I don't like what he did with Lil Meech and them either. I ain't like that either. I'm running. Ooh. Yeah, you remember that, my boy? You said that was my ish. Hey, that documentary album so fire. What? I'm gonna listen to that going to work tonight. That documentary album is immaculate. And Wanna Get to Know You was a bop. I remember they had a song called Groupie Love. So I've been so many places. I've seen so many faces. Girl, you look like someone that I didn't F before. I've been around the world. I met all kinds of girls. Girl, you look like someone that I didn't want on tour. That was my joint. And Yayo came on there. I stay G'd up. Cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, marijuana, mule on that Greyhound from NY to the Carolinas. They was going off. I stay G'd up, gangster. Find out for sure if you ever step on my toes. I stay G'd up when I'm hanging out the window with the AK feeling. Hey, that was yeah. Hey, I think that's when Banks would say the pound to spin you around like a young James Brown. Hey, hey, what? Banks and Buck was going off. Banks and Buck was going. Oh, hey, and Buck, I don't care. Buck's song Footprints on there and 50's hook. That hook on Footprints is dope. And 50 made a hook out of. That's how I know 50 really. Now I'm gonna say this about Fifth. He's a songwriting genius. He made a hook out of that little picture that your grandma and them got in the house about the footprints in the sand and God carrying his toughest soldiers during hard battles. And he wrote a hook out of that painting that black people be having in their house about it was first it was two sets of footprints in the sand, and there was one set of footprints in the sand. When times get hard and shit hits the fan, God don't walk with me. He carried me, man. And that was Buck was going off. Said Lloyd snapped on gangsters. They talking that gangster is. It ain't about that, man. Matter of fact, hand me my strap. Show me where they at. To stop them from talking like that. I'm trying to keep what Bank say. I ain't here to make no friends, just cut the checks. I got a raw pump that'll blow your stupid ass up the steps. They don't understand though, probably because a man gonna anticipate. Man, go you for niggas thinking they Rambo, you get one warning. So I suggest you let your mans know these rap brothers portray to be tough. Nobody acting soft till they laid out in the hospital eating applesauce, usually for yapping off, turn apologetic, waving a white flag for danger they might have. My niggas buying so much ammo. If you reach in the couch for loose change, you probably fell on the handle. Hey, he was going in. Yeah, you right. I had to rethink about that. That was. Yeah, man. So now y'all see that I grew up on Fifth's music and I love the music. But I can tell you he got shiesty ways up in him. All the way to the core. All the way to the core. I grew up on Fifth music and I still love the music. But he just got shiesty ways. And he is a very devious person. He will do shiesty stuff. But the music was phenomenal. The TV shows are great. I still watch the Power spinoffs and all of that. Yeah, I'm on long as hell. I gotta get ready. Start getting ready for work and eat some food and chill and relax my mind and body real quick, man. But yeah, man. Hey, look, y'all, I done been on here long enough. I want to thank y'all for popping on. I want to thank everybody that donated, anybody that donated tonight, whether it be in my Cash App or whether it be through the YouTube app. It means a whole lot to me. Before I get off of here, y'all, please hit the like button. Please. That puts me heavily back within the YouTube algorithm. So I'm asking all of y'all to please hit that like button for me so that my videos could still be heavily within the algorithm because I've fallen out of favor with the YouTube algorithm for some reason. But I thank y'all for coming on here and spending time on here with your boy. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that. We're going to keep building this community, keep it all going forward. And yeah, I thank y'all kindly, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out, y'all. Peace.